You began that answer by saying that we're very much still in that cycle, the upcycle which began last year, and that's when we lost you. Please complete that point.
Well, certainly. Sorry about my internet in Australia. Quite simply, this economic cycle and this commodity super cycle hasn't gone away. It's been embedded with us since 2002. We're in year 20 of the whole cycle. So the continuation, this is a long run. This is certainly from an infrastructure spend globally. We're very conscious as far as the big picture and the appetite globally. And of course, with an extra 1.5 billion people entering the planet over the next 20 years or less, 15 years, that cycle is going to, I think, exacerbate for all demand pictures. So you're talking about construction, infrastructure, the needs and wants of all nations rebuilding, and that's very much a cross from an inflation story as well. The demand side, I think, is going to be very, very strong. So I think at the present time, that $9,200, $9,300 a metric tonne for copper is quite cheap compared to what the long run average has been. And I think that it's every chance you're going to see sometime over the next 3 to 4 years back above that $11,000 range.
Peter, does the same hold true for? I mean, I used copper as an example of. But it's true for a lot of the points I made. Is also true for other commodities. I mean, could be true. One does not know. What is your sense? Because there is one argument which says that the driver for this bull market is not China, it's the West, right? I mean, the very strong growth which has come back in the US specifically, Europe, etc. And then you got a bunch of other sort of incremental headwinds, as I suggested. Which do you think will prevail? Yes.
Well, I think you're going to have very, very strong demand, as you have mentioned, across the US, but certainly South America. We look at Asia as a whole, strip China out of there. Look what's happening as far as construction across Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Australia. So the huge demand from steel and for all base metals I think is going to only get increased. We haven't even put Africa into the position yet or in the argument. You've got 1.2, 1.3 billion people. You're going to have the same situation there. They're just behind India in the sense of, highways crisscrossing their nations, underground railways, all forms of construction, cement demand for buildings. A very, very young nation or a young continent like India. So that demand picture, I believe, is very much embedded. And when you're looking at young countries and what they're going to experience over the next matter of a decade or 2 decades is going to far outweigh a lot of analysts' expectations. I see it being another rerun of China when you look at Africa and you look at India. Have a look what's going to happen over the next 2 to 3 decades there.